Dwayne Johnson is not the same guy whom we all see in highlight reel, because the truth about his real personality is a lot more different than his on-screen identity.
The idea of me being president one day has become a legit thing to some people. And if it is a overwhelming, positive, strong, we want you to run for president. And if I felt that I can step up to the plate and become a tremendous leader and make a real difference and make change, I would do it.
For most of his career, studios saw Dwayne as the safest name in Hollywood. Show up on time, work hard, keep things positive, print money. That was the deal, until Red One. Red One was supposed to be a fun action movie. What it became instead was a complete disaster. Multiple reports say Dwayne was showing up to set hours late, as much as 8 hours late on some days. This behavior directly clashed with the image The Rock sold to the world. The proud claim of being the hardest worker in the room, because the hardest worker doesn't make hundreds of workers wait on him. Then came the story that shocked even veteran crew members, the bottle story. It came out that the actor would urinate into water bottles instead of using the restroom to avoid slowing down his routine. But the part that disturbed people wasn't just the act itself, it was what happened next. His assistants were the ones made to dispose of the bottles. Dwayne later admitted the habit and tried to laugh it off in his GQ interview, but to the people on that set, it wasn't funny. It was embarrassing. It was uncomfortable. And for many of them, it changed the way they saw him.
This is called desert sand. It's a badass color, never seen before on the market in a training shoe. And I just realized you just saw my big bottle of pee. Look, I go hardcore when I train. I don't have time to go to the bathroom. I find a bottle, I pee in it, and I keep training like a beast.
For the first time in decades, something strange started to happen in Hollywood. Studios stopped seeing Dwayne Johnson as a guaranteed win. They started seeing him as a risk. You see, for many years, he teased the same promise over and over again. The hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change. Black Adam wasn't just another movie for him. It was supposed to be his coronation. He was trying his best to reshape the DC franchise with his presence. The end goal everyone saw coming was simple: Black Adam versus Superman. The Rock versus the face of DC. And for a moment, it looked like he was winning. Black Adam finally released in 2022. The opening weekend was solid. Fans showed up, social media trends were loud, the post-credits scene with Superman became a hot topic. But the numbers that followed told a very different story. The movie made about $393 million worldwide. On paper, that sounds huge. But movies don't live on big numbers. They live on profit. The production alone cost close to $200 million or more. Add global marketing on top of that, and the movie needed well over $500 to $600 million just to break even. But it never got that close. When the dust settled, industry math said Black Adam lost tens of millions of dollars. Some reports said over $50 million. Others said even more. By Hollywood standards, that's a flop. But The Rock did not accept that. Almost overnight, a new report suddenly appeared claiming Black Adam was actually profitable. And that report didn't come from the studio. It came from unnamed sources. Later, sources revealed what many executives already suspected: that the positive numbers were leaked from his team to protect his image. Even worse, The Rock reposted those numbers himself. He compared Black Adam's box office to Captain America: The First Avenger, a movie that came out over a decade earlier in a totally different market. To studio executives, that comparison made no sense. And the mess didn't stop there.
I think that Black Adam got caught in a vortex of new leadership. There was so many changes in leadership, and as you know, anytime you have a company, but especially that size of magnitude, that's a publicly traded company, and you have all those changes in leadership, you have people coming in who creatively, fiscally are going to make decisions that you may not agree with philosophically. So I think Black Adam was one of those movies that got caught in that web of new leadership.
While Black Adam was crashing in the real world, something else was quietly shaping his image on screen. And it wasn't a story. For years, insiders have reported that The Rock uses something called an equal pain clause in his action movie contracts. The idea is simple. His character is not allowed to lose a fight, and to make that work, producers even created systems to count punches. If he gets hit 10 times, his opponent must get hit 10 times too. If he's knocked down, the other guy better be knocked down just as hard. Everything must be even. On paper, it sounds fair. On screen, it kills the story. Because real tension comes from the fear that the hero might not win. But if the hero's victory is written into a contract, not into the script, there are no real stakes. The audience can feel it. Even if they can't explain it, they sense the safety net. The Rock never loses because he legally cannot lose. But when an actor like can't allow a fictional loss, it often points to a real-life fear. The fear of losing his manhood.
We hear this all the time. You never know what's around the corner. Hug your loved ones, hug your little ones.
For years, The Rock built his whole identity around one word: family. In wrestling, in movies, in real life. Everything was about loyalty, respect, and unity. But behind the scenes, that image was starting to crack. The first public sign came during the filming of The Fate of the Furious. Tension on that set had been building for months, and one day, Dwayne finally snapped. He posted a long message praising the women working on set. Then he turned his focus to his male co-stars. Without naming names, he wrote that some men were true professionals and others were candy asses. Everyone knew exactly who he meant. The target was Vin Diesel, the face of the Fast and Furious franchise, and also one of its main producers. The post went viral, and what had been quiet tension turned into a full public feud. Later, The Rock said he regretted making the post public, not because he disagreed with what he said, but because he said it out on his social media platform. That detail mattered, because years later, when crew members from Red One described The Rock as being late on the set, suddenly that old post didn't hit the same spot. The man who once called others unprofessional was now being accused of the very same thing, and the irony was impossible to ignore. The feud with Vin Diesel never fully healed. They avoided scenes together, schedules were separated, and eventually, The Rock stepped away from the main Fast and Furious storyline altogether. But the fallout didn't stop with Diesel. Next came Tyrese Gibson. When The Rock announced the spin-off movie Hobbs and Shaw, it pushed back the filming of the main Fast and Furious sequel. That delay meant lost money for the rest of the cast. Longer waits, frozen schedules, and missed paydays. Tyrese didn't take this disrespect quietly. He accused The Rock of breaking up the family to serve his own ego. He called out $7 Productions by name. He said the franchise had been turned into a one-man show. This time, The Rock didn't shoot back publicly. The box office became the battlefield instead. Hobbs and Shaw made a lot of money, but not as much as the main Fast and Furious films, which regularly hit the billion-dollar mark. Tyrese mocked the numbers and called the spin-off a disappointment. What started as a movie business move turned into personal bitterness. And suddenly, the man who preached unity had become the center of division.
At this phase, how much leverage, power, credibility do you have where they know they can't screw with you because you're going to do it no matter what? Do you have that kind of leverage yet or not yet?
By this point, The Rock was no longer just a movie star. He was a company. Every post, every video, every speech, all part of a massive business machine. And for a long time, fans were buying his opinions. But then the Maui wildfires happened, which resulted in a unique collaboration between The Rock and Oprah Winfrey. They both announced a $10 million donation and launched a public fund to help survivors. On the surface, it looked generous, but something about it didn't sit right with people. Almost immediately, folks pointed out that he and Oprah are worth millions of dollars. And here they were, asking regular folks, many of whom were struggling just to pay their own bills, to donate money. It felt like the richest people in the room were passing the hat.
Just a reminder, this is Oprah's net worth, with a B. This is The Rock's net worth, with an 800 M. Now in the caption it says that they're donating $10 million. It doesn't say each though. $10 million is a drop in the bucket for these two. They could write a check to every single person who lost their home and still be a billionaire and a multi-millionaire.
The backlash was loud and fast. And for once, The Rock didn't ignore it. He apologized.
When we first launched the fund,
there was some backlash that came with launching the fund, and I want to address and acknowledge that backlash right now. And here's what I have to say about that. I get it, and I completely understand.
Because it was one of the first times the public really saw the gap between who he thought he was and how people actually saw him. Not as one of us, but as one of them, the ultra-rich Hollywood elites. At the same time, his social media had started to change. What used to feel like behind-the-scenes life now felt like non-stop advertising. Even moments that were supposed to feel personal started to look staged, and that shift followed him into every move he made next.
And so is it possible that The Rock is just not telling us the full story? That he's actually sick?
The Rock's body has been one of his biggest selling points. Huge muscles, razor-sharp cuts, veins popping through the skin. And somehow, as he got older, he didn't get smaller. He got bigger. And in the fitness world, that raised serious questions. Because most men do not grow massive new muscles in middle age without help. But The Rock never really addressed that directly. He stayed quiet on things like hormone therapy or testosterone replacement. At the same time, he sold energy drinks, workout gear, and motivation speeches built around the idea that anyone could look like him if they worked hard enough. Then came Joe Rogan. After the fitness influencer known as the Liver King was exposed for secretly using steroids while preaching a natural lifestyle, Joe Rogan said that there was no chance in hell The Rock was natural at his age and size.
You know, when you see The Rock and he's standing there with his shirt off, with his shorts on, there's not a man alive who doesn't want to be built like that. They all want to be built like that. So if he's telling you that he's not doing anything to get that I don't know, and I don't know if he is. Is he telling people? Does he say, I've never taken steroids in my life? Does he say that?
He said in one instance that when he was 18, him and his friends took something and it gave him gynecomastia and then he never touched it again or something like that.
To a lot of people, the problem wasn't whether he used something, the problem was the silence. Because when a man with his reach sells discipline as the only ingredient, it creates impossible standards. Young kids chase bodies they can't reach. Grown men feel like failures for not looking like him. And the brands still get sold. The image stays perfect. The truth stays hidden. But not for too long.
Everyone's happy, family's happy, you're paying the bills, you're not going back to having $7. But the heart, it's like, yeah, but you're not being fulfilled.
The disconnect between Dwayne Johnson's public image and his reported behavior is a structural flaw in his brand architecture. He has reached a saturation point where The Rock has become the corporation. The Dwayne Johnson of 2025 is a guy who uses his assets with ruthless efficiency, manipulates narratives to ensure he never loses, and relies on a mythology of poverty that no longer aligns with his reality as a member of the global elite. The disconnect is not an accident. It is the inevitable cost of maintaining a billion-dollar fiction in an age of radical transparency. The question is no longer whether The Rock is authentic, but whether we are still willing to buy what he is selling. What do y'all think about this whole situation with The Rock? Leave your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more such videos.